All right, so we finally got all the pieces in place for the track. The moment of truth is now. We finally get to arrange this thing. Make sure to clean up from the reverse reverb by killing the reverb that's on the master track. Don't frustrate yourself with that. One thing we'll be doing throughout the tune is a filter sweep on the bass. Let's go ahead and grab an auto filter and throw that on there. Group it and then bring your knobs up. Obviously you can't hear anything now. So we're actually going to map the frequency, again, map frequency and Q to this. Now one thing you got to be careful about is when you have your filter sweep all the way off, if you have any resonance or cutoff, it's actually going to come through during the entire track. You can actually avoid this by mapping the onness, the on of the auto filter to this button as well. And you set this device on, you set the minimum to 1. And you'll notice that the filter is off as long as your knob is all the way down. Pretty slick. So it's kind of like an auto shut off on your bass. So in order to get this tuned in here, let's set this to 1. Kind of get this flat over here, and that's basically the lower half. This is obviously not audible. Too much res, so bring that down. All right, that sounded pretty good. So we'll call that sweep. All right, so we got that out of the way. We'll be using that quite a bit during the track. Let's make sure we clear away any junk we still have left over in our arrangement view from the previous tutorial. And there's nothing on our timeline out there, so we should be good to go. All right, so what we're going to do to get started here is grab the reverse reverb we got from the last tutorial, and we want it to edge up against bar 17 here. And I put it in the wrong track. Let's put it on cymbal, or on the reverse reverb. We're actually going to go ahead and delete this to make it back to 0 on the cymbal. And let's go ahead and get that crashed cymbal again. Well, let's actually grab it from here, just in case I made any modifications. All right, so that's really dry. Let's go ahead and give that some actual, let's try long and some delay. All right, gives a lot more power. And let's get some drums going. So actually, I think all of these are the same. Let's just grab this one. It doesn't really matter. Get more space here. Okay, so all right, the end. No, that's not the end of the song. So let's go ahead and just repeat this out to 8 bars here. What we're going to do here is kind of build the drums up slowly so that it's not just always on, the always onness. If we go over here, we'll actually remove, let's try taking these out. If you hit 0 in Ableton, it actually just disables the clips, or disables the notes. Let's take out the ride cymbal. All right, and let's also go ahead and throw in our bass here. So we're just going to use the flat bass for a little while, and then we'll switch it up later. Now you don't want to just drop it in, bam, full on strength. So let's go ahead and let's take this all the way out to 16 bars. And I'm going to maybe sweep it like this. Oh boy, Ableton. Why oh why? Can barely hear it. It's coming in. Let's also add in the sub bass as well. Probably needs to be there. That's sounding really strange. I see. Okay. Well, it's possible this auto filter maybe is a little high. Let's bring this down. Let's actually bring that down all the way here. Okay, let's also bring in the drum loop here. I'll kind of build up the energy quicker that way. Okay, I'm noticing a problem here. It sounds almost out of rhythm. I can figure out why that is. Yeah, let's try taking this part out. Yeah, it could be a little squirrely here with these nodes. There we go. Let's try this. Something I may have to look at again later, but for now it's sounding okay. We're also going to add a nice sweep in here. We'll call this risers. Again, this comes from the Vengeance Essential Club Sounds 2-pack. If you don't have that yourself, then just substitute any sweep you might have. This one works pretty well in this track, but it's up to you to find what works for you if you don't have this one. So I'm going to grab this and put it in here. Okay, so right now this sweep is not really, it's not hitting the peak at the end here. It's somewhere in the middle. I would say right about halfway through here, like so. This drum loop is really starting to irritate me right now. I will find a way to fix this between now and the next tutorial. All right, so I feel like the sweep is maybe a little bit off. Let's see here. It's too long, I think. So let's actually go ahead and shorten this. If we add a warp point here and just kind of bring this in some. All right, it sounds pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add some delay, some long reverb. Very nice. All right, so if I were to extend this point, I think that might work. All right, so actually something, nice little trick here is you can split this. And now when you try to line it up later on, it's just easier that way. I'm actually going to extend this a little bit on this side. Just a hair. And it's not playing the whole thing until I do that. There we go. All right, so I think we want to put another cymbal here. Keep the energy going. So let's grab, if we hit the locker here, that'll keep the envelopes the same. Bring these over. Okay. We're actually going to go ahead and use that intro ARP at this point too. So that was kind of the point of making that. Drop him in there. Let's see how that sounds now. The cymbal's a little bit loud. Grab these over here and extend these out again. And we're going to add the pads here. These pads. So just keep in mind as you're building your intro, you kind of want to keep adding elements in every 16 bars at least. It just keeps it more interesting that way. I'm actually going to take only the first part of this. And if you go in here and you say crop clips and then loop, and then you can stretch it out. Now they're all the same. All right, grab another set of these over here. Should sound pretty nice. And let's take it from the top to see how that sounds. Still sound a little strange to me. We'll fix it in the next tutorial, along with this drum loop. All right, and Ableton bites again. I can't seem to lower this. It wants me to put a dot in there. Oh, there we go. It's much better. Okay. So that sounded pretty good. That's our intro. I think to lead into the breakdown, we'll go ahead and get 8 more bars of this, and that'll be it. So make sure to save your work. I know it's hard to follow along as I'm going, but hopefully you'll get there. We'll get there together. All right, save your work. See you next time.